Back to LFL football night, Legends Cup weekend in Los Angeles. It has been fun. The awards ceremony last night and the big game this afternoon. We're now into the second quarter. Seattle's offense goes to work. That is a handoff to Stevie Schnorr. Schnorr, a league MVP nominee, chews off about 6 yards on that carry.
For a big power back, she is so explosive off the snap and getting to the hole. Before you know it, she's by you just like that. She was by the line of scrimmage, 6 yards down the field again. It seems like every time we talk about Schnorr, it's a 6-yard gain.
Now a very manageable 4th and 3 for this offense. An offense that broke out on the very first play of the first quarter with Matheny connecting with Jade Randall on a 35-yard touchdown. A little more conservative play calling since then. A 4th and 3. Wide open is Malloy, but she's going to go down to Jade Randall. Randall gaining 9 yards. That'll be good enough for a first down.
KK Matheny likes to make it exciting. You're right, Malloy was wide open on a quick post. She didn't throw it. She scrambled back and does what KK Matheny does. Slings it out there to Jade Randall and got the first down.
Seattle's offense the best in the league at 4th down conversions, not to mention the #1 ranked offense and the most scored points at 340 points this season.
That is just incredible for an LFL season, that many points. But when you have a quarterback like this who can do so much passing and running, that's when you rack up points.
A 1st and 10 ball at the Atlanta 19. Matheny back to pass, big pressure off the edge, forcing Matheny in the open field. And the 5'3" quarterback gains 15 yards on that carry.
Just what we were talking about. Her elusiveness in the backfield. Watch this. Fox Burble came in on a safety blitz. She made like it was nothing, makes a jump cut back out for a huge gain. She can destroy you against a blitz.
That was Jessica Salazar chasing down KK Matheny. Matheny is known for keeping plays alive. I always look at Doug Flutie when I look at KK Matheny. Very similar in stature, obviously, but just keeps plays alive until something happens.
Exactly like Flutie, but right there, she told me in an interview, she scrambles to throw the football, but if the run is there, she'll take it like she just did.
That 15-yard run setting up a 1st and goal. That looked like Stevie Schnorr. This could be a false start on Seattle.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Head referee J.C. Holt. That'll be a false start on Seattle. That is key field position to be getting backed up from.
And it came from Stevie Schnorr, the veteran. She usually will not be like that, especially in a championship game in the red zone inside the 10-yard line. You can't jump like that.
Seattle had a 1st and goal inside the 4-yard line. Now backed up to about the 9-yard line.
That changes the whole play call process. Right now, I'm sure they're going to throw it being 9 yards out instead of inside the 10 like they were.
Seattle backed up to the 9-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff to Malloy, going down the field, nearly intercepted. Lauren Ziegler had a gift-wrapped interception dropped as we meet Seattle's offense.
Jade Randall, wide receiver.
Danielle Hawkins, tight end.
Shay Norton, tight end.
Nicole Peterson, your center.
Dominique Malloy, running back.
Stevie Schnorr, running back.
KK Matheny, quarterback.
Coach Michelson told me tonight's game plan, you're going to see KK Matheny throwing to her go-to receiver, Jade Randall, more often than you did all year long.
2nd and goal, ball remains at the 9-yard line. Stevie Schnorr flanking to the right side of Matheny, now checking down to Schnorr. And Schnorr bulldozing her way into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
KK Matheny makes up for the last pass. Watch this. She makes something happen, scrambling, somehow finds Stevie Schnorr breaking across the middle, and Schnorr does the rest. Great athletic play by KK Matheny. She takes a shot, but touchdown Seattle.
Quit fucking celebrating, look at me! I want to X out, but I want to reverse it to Z out. I want the left side, esteem left, arrow, Z out.
How about the patience of KK Matheny to allow that play to develop? It felt like that was a setup for Schnorr. Schnorr got in the open field, and nobody's going to tackle her there.
That was very Flutie-like. Making time, making something happen, improvising, and getting the points on the board for Seattle.
This will be a 2-point conversion. High snap. That was intended for Shane Norton, deflected. Jessica Salazar all over the field here in the first half.
That's why she's starting at middle linebacker. She can go, she's not like an alligator. She can go side to side, and she showed it right there. Great coverage.
Listen, KK, you don't have time to fucking do triple fakes. You gotta just read it.
It's a bad snap, coach.
I understand that, but you gotta go. You gotta see right away before the snap, the fucking Z out's wide open.
Okay.
So guess what? You just lay it up there. If you don't see it, you don't see it. But you know it's gonna be there.
That was the call. Z out. He wanted the Z to get the ball. KK made something else happen. No points on the board. Coach Michelson always tells me that KK has got to focus on what the play call is and then make it happen.
Matheny does have a bit of creative freedom in this offense, but from time to time, this offense is very succinct. There's a specific scheme in place, and when it's not executed, Chris Michelson is not happy.
Especially in a championship game. Maybe early in the season you can get away with that, but not in a title game.
A 2nd and 9 after that 1-yard run by Jesse Locklear. High snap. Now looking to Fezekai. That ball was behind and high. There's not been a lot of success between Dakota Hughes and Fezekai. As we talked about, Fezekai signed really late, in essence, for a playoff run.
Well, that's it. She came in so late. They didn't practice together. Their timing's off, as it showed right there. That ball was behind her, but she has to idle down and catch that ball. It hit her in the hands.
The ball remains at the Atlanta 16-yard line. This has been a back-and-forth game with these two offenses. A 3rd and 9. Now Hughes just trying to buy time, rolling left, throwing across her body. That was again intended for a Fezekai, setting up a 4th and 9.
I don't know if it's nervousness or just actually being too excited for the championship game, but right now Dakota Hughes has thrown a lot of high footballs.
Holding offense number 9. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That penalty on Ariana Barton, the right side tight end. So instead of a 4th and 9, now it'll be a 4th and 15.
Going back to the play before the touchdown for Seattle, Lauren Ziegler dropped an interception. I can't tell you how big that is in a championship game. That would have stopped the bleeding. Instead, the next play, Seattle scores a touchdown, so it's pretty much a 14-point swing. That was huge.
The pressure now back on the square shoulders of the Canton, Georgia native Dakota Hughes. Dropping back to pass now under pressure and sacked. That is the rookie, Kiara Williams. Lines up at corner normally, but coming in hot from the defensive end position.
She came in hot, you're right, like a shark in the water. Went after Hughes, went high, so she couldn't throw the football. She had to tuck it. Humongous play for Seattle. Wow.
This could be a very big turn of events here as the offenses have been going back and forth. This is the first time we've seen a defense take a stance, and of all people, from the rookie, Kiara Williams.
Kiara Williams, everybody knows her brother plays for the Seattle Seahawks. She played like a veteran right there. What a blitz, what a run at Dakota Hughes. It gives KK Matheny good field position again.
A 1st and 10, about 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. That's a lot of play action. Looking for Jade Randall into the end zone. Great coverage by Amber Clark.
We talked about Amber Clark in the pregame. She came on strong here at the end. She's a cover corner going against Jade Randall, last year's MVP. Unbelievable blanket coverage. Great play.
Atlanta has been looking for a pair of cover corners ever since being torched for the last 3 seasons. They feel like they've found them in Amber Clark and Quilla Franklin.
Absolutely. They do the Cobra blitzes from the outside on the corner, and it destroyed LA. Let's see if it can destroy Seattle tonight.
A 2nd and 10 handoff to Stevie Schnorr, and why not? Schnorr gaining 4 yards. Tackled by Brittany Demery.
Wow, Demery going against Schnorr. That's unstoppable force meeting immovable object. That is football at its best.
Schnorr coming into this Legends Cup as the league's #1 rusher with over 300 yards, as you could see there, 346 yards and a career high 13 touchdowns.
and 7.5 yards per carry for a fullback. That's unbelievable.
Now a 3rd and 6 ball at the 7-yard line. Fakes the toss play, Matheny, and just getting rid of it. That could have been a grounding call, although she was outside of the tackle box. Setting up a 4th and 6. On a crucial down, let's meet the Atlanta defense.
Amber Clark, cornerback. Lauren Ziegler, corner.
Adrian Purnell,
The strong safety.
Cetrice Fox-Birdwell, safety.
Jessica Salazar, middle linebacker.
Keon Harrison, defensive end.
Brady Demery, defensive end.
In the conference championship game, we saw Lauren Ziegler shut down A.J. Johnson, the talented wide receiver from Chicago. It's going to be interesting if Ziegler can shut down Jade Randall tonight.
It looks like we're not going to get another playoff here before the 2-minute warning. In a game that has gone back and forth, Atlanta leading it 14-12.
Guys, you want to fucking win this game, you got to make fucking big plays. We're mapping it out for you to fucking win, and we're fucking shitting it away. You got to make the fucking plays in the big games, or it doesn't mean shit.
We welcome you back for the final 2 minutes of LFL football night here in the second quarter, as head coach Chris Michelson of Seattle urging on his offense with a vital 4th and 6 coming up.
He is stressing to all these big players. Jade Randall already had a big play the first play of the game. Now he's calling on everybody to come up with something this down.
Ball at about the 7-yard line of Atlanta. A toss right, and that is a fumble. I'm not sure which Atlanta defender got back in the backfield, but they look like they got shot out of a cannon. Dominique Malloy had no chance at recovering that fumble.
Adrian Purnell, she looked like she was shot out of a cannon. You're right. She looked like a lion going after a gazelle. In Malloy, what a play for Atlanta.
Let's go, let's go. Get the fuck off the field. Damn, ain't no fucking timeout. If you don't see a flag, you fucking call timeout. That was the instructions. Why are we trying to bullshit and do that play? You think you're gonna get the call? It doesn't matter if you thought it. If you don't see the fucking flag, you call a timeout. I'll deal with him after that. God damn it.
A 1st and 10, Atlanta returning back to the field. That is an inside handoff. Jessica Salazar. Salazar trying to fight her way to the edge. A great looking tackle by Jade Randall.
Jade Randall has done that all season long. Watch the form tackle. This is tough to do. Salazar is a beast, and Randall just slings her to the ground. That is defensive football at its best.
You could see Jade Randall really came on toward the latter half of the 2017 season, but when she did, you could make an argument she was the most dominant defender in the league.
There's no question. She is an elite player on both sides of the football, but on defense, I think she might be the best.
A 2nd and 9, and that sailed well over the head of Lauren Ziegler. We have seen Dakota Hughes be a little off this half.
You'll see it's a post pattern, and you see the safety, Angel's behind her. When that happens, you have to throw the ball flat, not up in the air. Throw it flat, and that's a completion to Ziegler underneath the safety.
Atlanta's offense very fortunate that defense held inside the goal line, and Atlanta gets to preserve this lead and still stay within their scheme offensively. And really what's worked has been the run game to this point.
Absolutely. You get the feeling this might be Atlanta's night, the breaks they're getting, that deflected touchdown by Ziegler.
Possibly down the field, intended for Ziegler. And you could see Dakota Hughes very hot about this being a pass interference, as is Lauren Ziegler. We'll take another look at this. It looked like great coverage by Kiara Williams on the outside.
I think in a championship game, you let them play. Unless it's blatant, that's just decent playing competition. She did not interfere right there. I know Ziegler's looking for it, but great coverage by Williams.
Make that melee rich. That was number 16 in coverage. The 5th-year veteran corner. Not known exactly for her coverage skills, but was toe-to-toe with Lauren Ziegler.
Ziegler, one of the best in the game. That was absolutely great coverage.
Let this clock run out so we can punt, all right?
You can hear Dakota Hughes there giving instruction to her huddle. They intend on getting a delay of game That'll back them up inside their own 10-yard line. In the LFL, you can elect to punt offensively if you're at your own 10 or deeper. So they're obviously playing the field position game.
Dead ball, delay game, Atlanta. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
I think that's a great call by head coach Dane Robinson. You have to take the penalty to punt. You have a great athlete who's going to be punting, Dakota Hughes, and then you rely on your defense. They have a solid defense. He's a great defensive coordinator. Let him play.
As sound as this Atlanta defense has been playing, this decision makes a lot of sense. A good high punt. That'll be returned by Kiara Williams. Look at Williams get out into the open field.
Hey, can y'all stop slapping bitches in the face?
Williams on the punt return.
Adrian Purnell making what could have been a touchdown-saving tackle on Kiara Williams.
I'm not sure if that was a tackle or just actually catching the running back. It looked like Williams delivered the blow. That's twice tonight Purnell has taken the brunt of some shots. The first one on that touchdown pass when Randall threw her into the boards.
Now, we didn't know how these two would match up. We talked about it in the pregame show. They've never faced off prior. These seem to be very evenly matched up teams.
This is LFL football at its best. This is a fun game to watch.
A 1st and 10. We are under a minute remaining. Seattle does have both timeouts. An awkward-looking delayed handoff to Jade Randall. They're calling it an incomplete pass. That I don't understand.
I don't know either. She was going to fake the quick post and then do a quick trap to Randall underneath. She got the handoff.
That was head referee J.C. Holt saying that that was an incomplete pass, but that was clearly a handoff from this angle.
And she got the football. It was a legal play. I'm not sure what the refs were thinking.
A 2nd and 10. That does stop the clock, so that'll play in Seattle's favor. But again, with half the field and 2 timeouts, clock really not a factor here. In a tight game and opportunities like this, you've got to capitalize.
Absolutely. Needs points right now. As we mentioned, every time Seattle's on TV, they have the most explosive offense and the playbook of 160 plays. They can score easily within 50 seconds.
A 2nd and 10. Ball at the Atlanta 20-yard line. Dropping back to pass, KK Matheny trying to set up that release play that scored. This time shooting it over the head of Stevie Schnorr.
She's trying to do too much, and the actual play is wide open.
Again, Coach Michelson disappointed in his quarterback, KK Matheny. That was not the play call. The play call was on the other side of the field. She said no to that and tried to throw a quick screen to Stevie Schnorr, and obviously Schnorr was not expecting it.
There seems to be a constant battle back and forth with KK Matheny and offensive coordinator Chris Michelson as to the scheme and how it's executed. And now we've got a timeout on the field.
Fucking wide open. Listen, I don't care if you need to stop worrying about the blitzes.
Okay.
The blitzes are coming, and guess what? The actual fucking physical play you're doing is wide the fuck open.
Okay.
You're so worried. I don't give a fuck about them. They're not in Jacksonville no more. They're not in Tampa.
Right.
I don't care about them.
Yep.
If they bring 4 and I'm releasing a line, it's what? Shit, Danielle's sitting over there all by herself.
Okay.
All by herself. We've got to see this. Fucking A.
That is twice now in the first half. Head coach Chris Michelson disappointed in Matheny for changing the play. Just stick with the play he called. Right there, KK tried to do something on her own to Schnorr, and Schnorr wasn't ready. Obviously, she should have stuck with the play that Michelson called.
Now on a 3rd and 10, the debate is, do you try to get all 10 here or work underneath where you've had success to set up a manageable 4th down?
Well, what they do, they have reads. They have a system of reads on the same side of the field, so it's easy for her to go 1, 2, 3. I would say you go Randall, maybe deep. If not, then throw it underneath to Schnorr or somebody.
A 3rd and 10, another low snap back to Matheny. A crossing pattern, that is Jade Randall. And Randall getting to the 2nd layer of the defense and into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
What a play call by Coach Michelson. Man-to-man coverage. It was almost a pick underneath. They picked the DB that was covering Randall. She's wide open. Then she does the rest on her own and broke, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but broke Lauren Ziegler's ankle on a jump cut.
1 timeout, 42 seconds, end of the half, we're down 4.
That is head coach Dane Robinson setting the stage for the final 41 seconds. But we saw Lauren Ziegler and Amber Clark really take poor angles to Jade Randall, and Randall breaking free.
Poor angles, but the jump cut was amazing. Both got faked out, and she walked into the end zone. Again, the best against the best. Right there, Jade Randall got him.
Dead ball, false start. Number 14 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, retry.
That is another false start on Seattle, especially down here in the goal line in key situations, and this time they nailed Shea Norton.
Shea Norton, she's a veteran. She should not let this happen. In fact, the entire team, Coach Michelson, I guarantee, is going to lay into him at halftime for the silly mistakes.
Seattle did manage to regain the lead on the Randall touchdown, capping what was a 3-play, 20-yard drive, but only taking up 17 seconds of the clock. That means Atlanta is going to have enough time when they get this ball back for a shot down the field. Meanwhile, that was the 2-point conversion attempt underneath to Dominique Malloy. That's just not a pattern you run. They needed 7, they got about 4. Let's go to a mic'd up Chris Michelson.
Your ass. Well, then listen and tell her. Then talk to her. You can't just fucking not say anything about it. In the huddle? I don't give a fuck about after. I'm talking about before. If they've been doing it all game, right? Then fix it. Oh no, she's running the fucking route. No, you're going to a fucking route that's an under, so unless she's fucking wide open, you can't hit it because she's got zings over the top. She don't give a fuck. She's guarding the goal line. So you got to take your chance with her or the arrow.
Coach Michelson very upset at his team right now. They're making the wrong reads. The players running the wrong routes. They're winning the game, but you know Michelson, it's not perfect. He's not happy.
A 1st and 10 connection. That was Hughes to Lauren Ziegler. A gain of 9 yards, and Ziegler very smart to get out of bounds. That'll conserve some time.
With these two for Atlanta, 37 seconds is more than enough time to answer with a touchdown.
This has been a back and forth game, but we've seen defenses kind of anchor in here toward the end of the second quarter. Let's see if Seattle's defense has another stop in them. A 2nd and 1, Hughes back to pass, stepping up in the pocket, nearly intercepted by Kiara Williams. And how about the play of Williams here?
Williams is a great defensive back. We talked about her for a few weeks now, but the throw by Dakota Hughes not good at all. You have a 6'1" Efezikai, throw it high and give her a chance.
A 3rd and 1 as offensive coordinator Mark White and Dakota Hughes talk over the strategy. This would be a big boost in the locker room if you can go in regaining the lead. Atlanta coming into this game as a 7-point sportsbook underdog, trailing this one by 4 here. That is a handoff. Jesse Locklear bouncing off the first defender, able to gain 6 yards.
Mark White tried a quick trap with Locklear underneath. It didn't work as well. The clock down to 23 seconds. You would think they go to their main target.
Well, they did get a stop here. They've got a timeout.
That's their second charge, timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining.
That's a mistake by head referee J.C. Holt, as LFL teams only get 2 timeouts per half, and Atlanta's used both.
They're going to try a fucking cheap shot here. Melee, good job, good break. You guys got to make plays. You've had to miss one. You've had to miss. I mean, we got to make those plays, guys. Okay, listen, squeeze down, all right? You guys in the DN, get that edge, but squeeze in. Don't forget about that part because she's going to try to gut us now. Don't let her get outside. Squeeze, okay?
Hey, if we do not get out of bounds, we're doing that same Memphis play all over again. So if we don't get out of bounds, hurry to the line. I'll wait till we get set.
Dakota Hughes is such a leader, telling her team, if this doesn't work, here's what we're doing immediately because there's only 23 seconds left. That is a veteran quarterback trying to score. I would be shocked, though, if they don't try to get the ball to their #1 target, Ziegler.
A 1st and 10 ball at the Seattle 20. Atlanta is out of timeouts. That was intended for Lauren Ziegler, well over her head. Maybe they weren't on the same page there from a pattern standpoint.
They tried that play earlier. It's a back shoulder to get her to the football in space, let her run. The coverage was there. I think Dakota Hughes just threw it away.
Hughes' numbers not very good here in the first half. I'm not sure how much of that is nerves and how much of it is just not having the comfortability with a Jolie Efezikai. Now intended over the middle, nearly intercepted. That was deflected and should have been caught by Jade Randall.
trying a crossing pattern right there. It might have been interference right there. It was close. They didn't call it. They let him play. Good play by the Seattle secondary.
This is an interesting play, a 3rd and 10 with 16 seconds left. You have no timeouts, so if you work underneath, you got to be really careful that you can either touch the boards, that will stop the clock, or you can get up to the line to quickly kill it.
That's right. There's enough time. There's enough time for 2 plays, but you're right. You have to be accurate and you have to be quick.
A 3rd and 10, receivers all flanked to the right side. Hughes moving right and throwing down the field to Efezikai. Efezikai had about 2 feet on the defender, Michelle Angel, but could not come up with it.
Efezikai has to get better at getting better. She has to work at positioning as a receiver. That's one-on-one. It's almost like boxing out in basketball. She was there. Put your butt on a defender and jump up and get the ball.
She seems to be getting in position, but the hand-eye coordination of grasping the ball and bringing it in has not happened here, at least the time that she spent with the Atlanta team.
That's all work. That's the work ethic. During the offseason, she has to work on her hands, and you can, and they will get better.
Has all the physical tools, has just had kind of a mental block here with the Atlanta Steam. A 4th and 10, the last shot, and the Seattle defense coming up big. That is Jade Randall and Stevie Schnorr. Let's listen in.
Wow. I hope that Dakota Hughes is not hurt on that play. She got stood up by Stevie Schnorr with her back to the defense, and Jade Randall just destroyed her.
Yeah, that was major cleanup from Jade Randall. As Seattle now taking over on downs, 5 seconds remaining, and they do have a timeout.
Dakota Hughes, that was not a good play. She had to stay in the pocket and give her receivers a chance, throw it up in the end zone. She got sacked. Now Seattle does have a chance.
KK Matheny certainly has the arm to get this into the end zone. And you got to factor this is going to go to Jade Randall. Randall at the bottom of your screen. Matheny a lot of time. Now the pocket collapsing. Number 15 buying time, throwing down the field.
Go in the end zone! Go in the end zone!
Quarterback KK Matheny urging her receivers to get into the end zone. That'll indeed bring us to the end of the first half, a back and forth battle with Seattle leading this one 18-14.